a presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day. Tom takes your phone calls toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Let's go to Eddie in Boca Raton. Hey, Eddie, what's going on?
Hey, Tom. How are you, man?
I'm doing great, man. Yourself?
Good, good. It is a treasure to have TFNN every hour during the trading day, to be there to help you, to guide you, and even to give you some peace of mind, or like that somebody else is there with you while you're trading this crazy market, either up or down.
Well, listen, we appreciate you growling and prowling with us out here, because we wouldn't be out here, folks, if we didn't have all you guys, gals, tigers and tigresses as clients. And, you know, the market teaches you every single day, man.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 7 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, if you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone's having a great day, safe day. It's a TGIF, folks. Let's make it a great one. Create new agreements based on respect and love. Take the responsibility to make new agreements with those you love. And if an agreement doesn't work, change that agreement and create a new one. And use your imagination to explore all the possibilities. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We have the Dow Industrials up 184, NASDAQ up 186, S&P's up 34, gold contract up $15.40, trading at $17.69 an ounce. We have silver flat, $21.70 an ounce. Light sweet crude up $2.56. $89.04 a barrel. Notes and bonds. The 10-year note down 7 ticks, trading 112.09. The 30 down 12 at 123.24. And King Dollar. King Dollar's down 1,800 ticks, 106.402. The euro is at 103. The yen is at 138.53, and the British pound is at 118 to 1 U.S. dollar. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world. In the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look at them. What do you have? Well, we're going to start with the S&P because the S&P isn't a confirmed ABC structure in the way up. We take a look at this, and what you're going to see out here is that, you know, we blew away the B point yesterday, took it out with volume. Your price projection here is 411.73. Now, the cool thing about this, folks, meaning that we have an ABC structure inside the S&P, is this. So, putting together the S&P, we're going to look at the NASDAQ, and it's all about the dollar. That's my point here, okay? So, it's like, you know, you have another 12 points, 13 points, 12 points from here. No, 13 points to get to the ABC structure finishing, okay? And these are always tricky. Not this. I'm talking about the type of bounce that we get off the bottom. That, you know, I can understand in 2 seconds why people think it's going to pull back right away. My take, it's not. And the reason being is that because we're in an ABC structure up inside the S&P 500. And, now watch this, okay? So you can see where we are. We're 12, 13 points away, right? We're 13 points away, okay? Then you go over to the dollar, and you take a look at the dollar, and, you know, bottom line is that this has been an extraordinary move. There's no doubt about that. You know, in 6 days, we've gone from 113 to 106. Well, it's not 104 is game. 101 is game. So I think the way this is going to play out, if you're really looking to trade around this, is have patience, keep your longs, keep going, okay? Because this dollar here looks to me, you know, next stop is 104, you know, and at 2,000 ticks a day, you can get there on them on Monday. If we break the 104, you are going to see an avalanche, man, because, you know, I've seen some currency moves, but this one is really a fast one. There's no doubt about that. Now that, if that's what we get, what would end up happening is that at the end of this move, it will look like the market is going to never stop going up. So we'll have the correlation like this. You'd have the correlation that you have ABC structure finishing. You have the dollar going down. Now let's go over to the Dow Industrials, because what this is all about right now, folks, is that the Dow Industrials and the small caps will lead. And the Dow is stronger, and I'll get the small caps next. So the Dow's leading, right? You can see the Dow's a little bit weaker today, right? But the Dow's the strongest indice. The Dow is going to go after this high of the 34,281. Now, if that's the case, what you have coming up the rear, let's go look at the IWM next. Because what you have, even when indices, one's weaker than the other, folks, what I've found in the market is this, is that, like right now, the Dow has been much stronger than the NASDAQ, the S&P, and the small caps, okay? But what tends to happen is that they all catch up with each other. That's my point. And I think the catch-up's going to be there, number one. And what I would do is, what I was talking about here, aim it off the dollar. Because when the dollar comes into that 101, if that's what we get, the market's going to look like it's never going to stop. And that's where you're going to take your money. Because it's a 1-to-1 all the way down. You know, yeah, it might go a little bit more, but that's where I'd suggest you take your money. We go to the IWM, we take a look at the IWM, and we're probably going to have an ABC. Yesterday, we pushed into it 38 million. We need 27 million. The IWM can do 27 million. We're at 21.3 right now. And bottom line, on the IWM, money comes in at the end of the day all the time. The volume comes in, an explosive volume comes in at the end of the day. We take a look at the Qs. What we have with the Qs is this. The Qs are going after a B point, but it's not an ABC up. So the B point is 284.60. We needed volume of 59 million, and you're going to have it. We have 50 right now. You're going to have it. But it's not an ABC up, because what happened with the Qs is that basically had a contraction that's too much. Now, that being said, technically, you can take the 283, and you can take that, bottom 254, let's say 260. So 260, the reason I'm taking 260, when you get a spike like this, you can see that low is 261, this low over here is 260. So to be conservative, you take 260, you take the top of this, which is 84, which is 24, and then you'll turn around and you say, okay, that's 310, right? And you get 311 is right up at the swing point also. So I expect that's what you're going to see up at those levels. If we go over to the bond market, we take a look at bonds, notes and bonds. What you're going to have with the note and bond market is that we went higher yesterday with good volume. It's closed today. Bond market's closed today. I suspect the bond market, guess what? This thing is going to do a counter trend bounce. It has been doing a counter trend bounce. It will continue to do a counter trend bounce. And in the bond market, just a dead cat bounce on the 10-year is 113. Let's call it 114. It's 113.31, and it's 32 ticks inside of 1 point. So I suspect we're going to be there. And guess what? If it goes above it, where are you going to go? You're going to do a 50% retracement. So you put those babies together, and ride it. That's that's where it's at. Stay right there, folks. We'll come right back. Dow's down 28. NASDAQ's up 166, S&P's up 31. We'll come right back.
Currencies, commodities, and bond markets are as important as ever right now with how they're driving the volatility in equity markets across the globe, which is why it's a great time to try out Teddy Kegstad's Tiger Forex Report. Teddy Kegstad breaks down the Forex markets every Monday using his 30-plus years of experience as a trading veteran of futures, Forex, stocks, and options. Teddy releases his weekly Tiger Forex Report every Monday morning with coverage of all the major currency pairs, including the dollar index, the euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar Swiss, dollar yen, as well as many more, and he also has weekly coverage of the crude oil market and the 30-year T-bonds, as they both influence Forex markets tremendously. When you sign up for the Tiger Forex Report, you also gain instant access to Teddy's 60-minute webinar archive he just hosted, Forex Strategies and Fundamentals, What is Behind the Tiger Forex Report. For all the details and to start your 30-day Tiger Forex Report subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Are you looking for a way to consistently add winning trades to your portfolio? Tom O'Brien is here to help. Tom O'Brien has been successfully trading markets for over 30 years. A frequent contributor to TD Ameritrade Network and CNBC, Tom O'Brien founded TFNN over 20 years ago to help educate investors just like you. Tom's daily market newsletter, Market Insights, is published every morning when the market's open to give you the competitive informational edge you need to succeed. These newsletters are packed full of Tom's advanced technical analysis and are geared to deliver comprehensive strategies for a successful portfolio. Get Tom O'Brien's newsletter, Market Insights, today, and try all of our products and newsletters 30 days risk-free with our money-back guarantee at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. Dow Industrials right now down 15. Nasdaq is up 163. S&Ps are off 31. So let's go take a look at Bitcoin over here. Bottom line is that you can see this baby just still under pressure. Bitcoin right now is running out at 16,600, and you pull this baby up right here, and you're going to see you have the break. So, I mean, this is, even without volume, bottom line is that, your next leg on Bitcoin is 10,300. You break that, guess what? Then you're down at 3,300. You break that, and you're back to $700 and then $200. Now, the thing that's intriguing, I'm going to let Tommy explain the story, but I was just talking to him a little while ago, and he was talking about this morning. He's had a lot of, experience because he played so much online poker, and, millions of hands. And when that was starting going on, you had Full Tilt, you had Poker Stars. But he was just explaining to me, like, if this gets come across, all this stuff's going to come out, folks. So listen to this. This is, when he just told me this, I couldn't believe, well, I could believe it, but it blew my mind. But the lawyer for FTX, okay, was the lawyer for Ultimate Poker. Now, if you played any poker at all, you probably remember Ultimate Poker, because what Ultimate Poker was, so check this out. The guy that started Ultimate Poker, online poker, and then he got caught that he could basically, there was you could see all the cards. So it was the biggest scandal out there, man. That thing folded in a second. The ironic part, though, is that he's the same attorney for FTX. Yeah, that's like insanity, right? And then Scaramucci, they're toast, man. So picture this, and he was explaining this morning a little. So FTX bought 30% of Scaramucci's Skybridge. But guess what? That's all paper, man. It was cash, but then the cash had to go back into tokens. And Scaramucci this morning, right? He's hustling right now, but he's not being, transparent at all. The bottom line, they're saying, yeah, they wrote it down to zero. I'd like to see how much. And so he's freaking out, and he should freak out, because the bottom line is that imagine you buy 30% of a $2 billion fund for nothing. And you can't just because you bought it, just because that is worth nothing, he accepted it, man. You accepted that money. And in this particular case, that money was, cash that, in fact, you had to take the cash and buy the tokens. And I suspect what you actually have is that there's going to be a lot more folks that we haven't heard of yet that has actually happened. Now, there's one other story out here. This is really, and this is going to come out. The broker-dealer community, folks, knew that he was in trouble in July, because there's a couple stories out here. I forgot the name of the firm. It's a monster firm. It's actually the firm that, if you remember, this was terrible. When 9/11 came down, it was the firm that, was it Jeffries? Okay, it might have been Jeffries. The bottom line is that the guy that does workouts was trying to get to talk with Freed because they knew he was in trouble. And that's like, okay, so this is not something that happened overnight. That's the real bottom line. You know, this thing was going. Bottom line is, what did Larry Summers? There was a quote that he put out there today when he was on Bloomberg, and it was like an Enron deal, the smartest in the room. And what he means by that, he doesn't mean that they're the smartest. He means that they're all con guys taking everyone that thought they were smart. This is crazy. Oh, you're going to see this. I didn't even know. Look at this. This has just come across. This is crazy. They're going to do this. This is sick, folks. Look what this headline is. Enron's liquidator is going to oversee the FTX massive crypto bankruptcy. Yeah. Let's see what they said. Okay, so John Ray, the chief executive of FTX, yeah. So they just brought this guy in, John Ray III, and he was the restructuring person who overtook the liquidation of Enron. Yeah. So they already know that this is an Enron deal, man. You know, that you come out of nowhere, you make hundreds of billions of dollars, you put your name on everything, and then see ya, don't want to be ya. Pretty intense, man. There's no doubt about that. So let's go into the SPY again, because we have a Tiger with a great question. What the question is the aspect of the larger ABC down? Because we have an ABC down in the marketplace. So the real question is that going to negate that ABC down? So let's put it on a monthly, because the way that would get negated is that if the volume was heavier on the way up. Because what happens on an ABC down, you need volume on the way down, lighter volume on the way up, volume on the way down. Okay, so no, it's not going to be negated. You can see this. This is crazy, man. I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of bread made in this market, folks. They can make it on the way up, and we make it on the way down. So here's your ABC, and you can see that even though that we have popped up, we're I'm going to pull the calendar up for a second. I know we're 11 days. The average trading day in a month, folks, is 21 trading days. So you can see the bottom line, you still have volume on the way down. The volume on the way up right now is only 843 billion. And it was 843 million. It was 2 billion, 2 billion on the way down. Yeah, right now you don't have it. Now what can happen, there's no doubt, what absolutely can happen, and this will it'd be really interesting if it turns into a complex one, because this is the thing that would just be amazing. And I suspect it's going to, because what ends up happening is this. The C point, let me put this up here. The C point is the D point of the daily. So the C point of the monthly is the D point of the daily. So you can come all the way back up there, hit the 411 is the number, 431 is the C point up here. But bottom line, you can get above it, you can get into it, and then you let loose again, and then see ya, don't want to be ya. So it's going to be intriguing. And I suspect where that's going to come from, it's going to come from the dollar. It's going to come from, the aspect that, hey, listen, that run yesterday was extraordinary. And, That's what happens in bear markets, folks. That's the reality. But I think this is a good run. I mean, I don't see this thing coming back down, I can tell you, until maybe January. I think, we're getting close to Thanksgiving, right? The market likes running in Thanksgiving. Got a couple days off. It's like, hey, man, you can't run this market for another 30 days, get in another business. I'm only kidding, folks. But the bottom line is that's how the market tends to run. It'll do things that you think that are almost impossible. Dow Industrial's up 35, Nasdaq's up 197, S&P's up 40. Stay right there, folks. Come right back.
If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Dow Industrial's up 47, Nasdaq's up 197, S&Ps are up 40. Let's go look at that gold contract, because my take, folks, is that gold's going to make this run right now to 1900. So let me show you where I'm coming from on this thing. So what we have, this is no doubt, we just went 7 days from, 617 to 760. Your next swing point is at 1824. When you look at this, close this thing. It's the same. What has happened is that we have the same breaks with conviction. On the dollar, the break is downtown. On gold, the break is uptown. So what does happen is that, bottom line, when we get to this price point of 1824, you can expect some sideways movement. Let me put this on GC. I'm going to put this on just a generic one because you can be able to see what I'm looking at better. And I'm going to put it on a weekly first and a monthly. So I'm going to bring it back. First, I'm going to bring it back 3 years on a weekly. And, bottom line, you can see you're and you set this up. Okay, so here's the setup here. That's when it broke. That was the range. So when it broke the range of 1673, that could be a real problem. We stayed down there, like 6 weeks, okay? Now, here's the bar in the pandemic, okay? But bottom line is that we're back inside the range. As soon as we get back inside 1673, well, that's just how consolidations go. The bottom line is that that's saying go to the top of the consolidation. And when you take a look at the channel, how it broke it, it's like, hey, man, 2078 is game. That's the highs game. That's how this is shaking out. And what does happen is that this can go much faster than you think. Okay, if you go, watch this. If you go to the first high that was generated, not the first high, in 2020, you're going to see that you went from 1675 to 2063 and 9 weeks, 2 months. So I suspect it's set up correctly, okay, in order to basically get to that level, pretty quickly. I don't think anyone's going to be comparing Bitcoin to gold anymore. The thing is so crazy, man. It's always so hard, that, and it's like, you always got to think it through, man. I mean, when I got those calls coming in, like, okay, well, the young people aren't buying it. There's no doubt about that. And unfortunately, they went on the wrong side. And, the thing that blows, what really blows my mind? But it shouldn't, because when I was talking to this one guy today, it always seems that at some point, it's always better to get burnt, when you're young versus older, because then you just think a little bit differently. And what this guy was asking me, he's not that young, he's maybe 40, right? And he was asking the context of the fiat currencies, and, do you think they go away? And I'm saying to myself, like, I don't understand how. Anyway, I was explaining to him that the king dollar is always going to be the king. That's my take on this, okay? Always. You might have currencies go up and down, but guess what? The dollar is the dollar. Everyone wants the dollar. All you have to do is go to a couple foreign countries, and I don't care what currency they have, they'll take a dollar, okay? That's the bottom line. There's only one United States. There's only $1, right? And it's game, man. I mean, do you really think that? Okay, so my take. I learned so much. I learned so much when Ronald Reagan called Russia's bluff, because when you think about it, we were kids like going under a table. I mean, going under a table. Are you kidding me? Like, do you think that would do anything? But how we had those drills under a table. So first you get under the table. Then he calls his bluff, then it crumbles, right? Well, Ukraine's calling his bluff right now, and they're going to crumble again. So the Chinese, that's a little bit different, okay? Because they're, more sophisticated, I'd say. But guess what, man? It's not going to happen. I mean, there's going to be, unfortunately, there's the human race in general, seems to want to always have wars, okay? That's a whole different animal, but when we talk finance, when we talk power structures, the dollar is going to be the dollar, And, as things go further along, it's real possible that the Fed makes a crypto, and what that would be about would just be controlling, where we spend everything. But you know why I think that's not going to happen, folks? Because what we do know is that big money runs everything, man. I mean, big money can push into elections, but, so they're not going to want that either, because they're laundering money left and right in an illegal way all over the place. So the bottom line is that you get the dollar, you have gold, the big central banks have been buying gold hand over fist, and all it's going to take is, more professionals coming into the gold market. They know, just from the last 4 or 5 days that it doesn't take much to push gold to much higher prices. And what I expect that we're going to see here is that, the bottom line, we're at the beginning of another commodity run. And we'll see how long that commodity run lasts. Let's take a look at some of the higher volume equities out here. Tesla's up $3 right now. You get Advanced Micro up 4. We have Marvell up 16 cents. You get AMC. Look at that. AMC is back to $7. I got to see this. I got to look at this. I always thought I'd go back to that, but I haven't looked at this, I bet, in a year. This is like these poor people got, oh, look at it. It went smaller than 7. Where did it go to? It went to $5. Oh, my God. Let me pull this back up. Can you imagine being so it just went from $45 to $5. Could you just imagine, the people that were running AMC, they got to be so happy, it's unbelievable, because imagine the hundreds of millions of dollars that they got to push out on paper. Well, yeah, let me see it. 1 second, we got to bring this up. Because what's happened, let's see, issue information. Yeah, it doesn't have it. Somehow they got around that. I wonder how they did that. They don't have, I know they sold huge amounts of paper. Right now, it's just showing that it must have been, and maybe it was in the Treasury. They probably had, so see this up here? It's saying 2017, $20.31, but we know that they sold paper hand over fist. And more than, if it's in the Treasury, that's not a reissue. That's the bottom line. You can just send it out to the marketplace, and they did send it out to the marketplace in an incredible way, If we let's go take a look at the silver market. So silver out here, silver right now is trading $21.70. Oh yeah, look at this. Okay, so I got to put this on it. I'm going to put this on a generic also because we'll see where this is shaking out. Okay, so let's put this on a 3-year weekly. Okay, so silver's not. Oh, it is. Silver's back. Silver's back in its range. It's 21.50. What is this number right there? That's 20. It's close. Silver. I'd like to see silver get to over 20. Let's say $22. Because you can see this line going along there. That's the higher range. So it's not in the higher range yet. Silver isn't. And Monday, Tuesday, we get in the higher range. And see, this is something else to watch. Because it's not in the higher range. If it gets in the higher range, then you are off to the races once again. Stay right there, folks. Come right back. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Dow's up 11, Nasdaq's up 194, S&P's up 36. Come right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no cash or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Tom O'Brien. Welcome back, folks. Dow's up 55, Nasdaq's up 205, S&P's up 40, and we gotta go over here and thanks, Ryan, for bringing up Eli Lilly. You know, Lilly, so check this out, folks, okay? Lilly is down $15, and you want to see this dive? Watch this. And this is all fake, okay? Bottom line, opens up this morning at, 367, dives all the way down to 344, making its way back. And what this is all about is that Elon is having a huge problem because the bottom line is he got rid of half the staff, and the amount of verifications that are going on Twitter right now, they're fake all over the place. And someone came out and had they masqueraded as Eli Lilly, and they turned around and, they said flat out, this was yesterday afternoon, that the bottom line is that, insulin is going to be free, So there's so many problems. What's going to be intriguing is to see how the market reacts to the problems that Twitter actually has. Because what we've definitely seen is that, Musk thus far has been, a genius. To me, non-trustworthy, big time. But I think he has a problem on his hands, man. I think he's got a big problem on his hands. And I think the problem is that he let too many people go, because wait to hear what's happening now. Inside Twitter this afternoon, right? The main attorney had to basically talk, and you got to remember something, that he's talking to very young men and women, and they start freaking out because the FTC, they have a deal. They signed a regulation deal with the FTC because their security was so bad that they're under their jurisdiction until 2042. 2042. It's 2022, right? And what ended up happening intraday is that these young folks were thinking that if they get caught, they're going to go to jail. Now, what we don't know on that story is that are they doing something that actually they can go to jail for? In large corporations, folks, okay? If you've been around large corporations long enough, I've been around them a few times. I've never worked for one, but I've done business with them for a long time, okay? And what happens, and this is what you always hear, not always, but a lot, especially if it's a corporation that has government contracts, if it's a corporation that has dealings with cities and all that, it's like, okay, we're not going to do anything, go to jail, right? Because large corporations, that's how they think. Because why? Because they skirt the line so much. That's the bottom line. Let's go to Rich in Oregon. Hey, Rich, what's going on, brother?
Hey, Tom. Thanks for taking my call, and happy Veterans Day.
Yes, thanks, man. Make it a great one.
Yes,
so,
for sure.
Oxy, huh?
Yes, I've heard all your comments and followed along how your progression with the the way the dollar's going and the market's going, and commodities will get a push. Is Occidental going to get more of a push here, or are oil stocks, gas stocks kind of petering out?
I think they're petering out, But listen, it's been an extraordinary run. And I know, we get a lot of Tigers that own them, and I know Exxon's up today. And, I suspect, like you can see Exxon's going for the high today. It's up $3 and has, it's going to be a cash dividend on the 14th, okay? Now, I don't know. In fact, can you give me some help in the den there? If that's the cash, is that the date you have to own it, or is that the actual? I suspect that's the date you have to own it. Yeah, I'll go back to Oxy for a second, but yeah,
Okay.
My take is that run is a great run, and that run's not over, but I think in the expansion of what we're talking about, Oxy doesn't look right. You know what I mean? Last time it had the volume, it was at 63. You can see this, and I get a monthly up now. I mean, you see this month? Rich, everyone, you got to look at this, folks, okay? Because this is where supply and demand come and play. And if there's not more demand than supply, well, the stock goes down. And you can see, if we go back 4 months ago, you had volume of 626 million, all right? 3 months ago, 528. Last month, 391. That is not good. And it's particularly not good because you couldn't even take out the swing point. And it had all the publicity because Warren Buffett's buying so much of it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So my take is that, yeah, it's
time to leave the party.
And listen, man, it's a tough one because I know the party's been a great party, man. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was the only party, folks, in a down market. That's the reality. So I know how tough it is, and what does happen, and this is what you're hearing from both Rich, myself, EXK, baseball, a lot of these folks, they made the run, is that it's like, okay, hold it, man. If the dollar's going to continue to go down, well, oil's going to go up. And I agree with that. There's no doubt about that. And I think that we're a commodity bull. But I also think that, the bottom line is that those oil stocks, the people that are in those oil stocks, they're probably swapping out now to, different commodity stocks, man. They made that run, and, they'll take the dividend. And that's always dangerous, man. It's always dangerous when everyone's waiting for the dividend, because all of a sudden you get the dividend, then you lose 10% of your principal. So we'll see. But, yeah, I think the way to look at this, Rich, is, take the bread and run.
Okay, Tom. I appreciate it.
Okay, man. Have a great one. Have a safe one.
You too.
Let's go look at this volume again, because it's going to be so. Folks, today is a really hard day to get volume in the market. Because it's a banking holiday. The banks are closed. There's a lot of desks that are off. So right now, it's slowing down. We're at 780 million on the NYSE, and we take a look at the Nasdaq's not slowing down. That's awesome, man. The Nasdaq has over 5 billion already. So the Nasdaq's going to end up doing 5.5, 5.6 billion. Inside the NDX today, you got DocuSign up 15.5%, Align Technologies up 11, Zoom's up 7. Let's go take a look at this, because this is when, okay, so I've had my bull hat on. Now I'm going to put my bear hat on, my bear claws on. So this is, see, this is what happens, man. You're going to love it. It's like the dogs are still going up, and they just start moving, and they'll move the indice, okay? But you can see this. This is a dog, man. This thing went from $92, 2 days ago. It was at 30. It was at 39. Now it's at 52. This is just what tends to happen when you have runs. You get the last dogs that are running, and the way that you can speculate that this is a counter trend move in a bear market is when you look at something like that, like who's leading the charge today. Well, the people leading the charge today are already, in tough shape, folks. Stay right there, folks. We'll come right back. Dow Industrial's up 65, Nasdaq's up 217, S&P's up 43. We'll come right back.
technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. Sit down. Dow's up 84, Nasdaq's up 225, S&Ps are up 45. So this one's a tough one now. We're going to do the TQQQ for one of the Tigers out here. And what the problem is that when you get a triple, and the question is, do you basically take it over the weekend? I want to say no, okay? And the reason I'm going to say no is that these are daily vehicles, and you just scored, okay? In 2 days, we just went from 1750, to 2275. And I understand, you're over the weekend, you might wake up Monday, and the bottom line, you might be up another $2,000 or 2 points. But guess what? You very well could be right. What happens as these get to higher numbers, if the Qs are down at all, this will go down pretty dramatically. So I would have a better weekend so you're not sitting there worrying about the TQQQ because, as I say, thank God there's always another trade. That's kind of you always got to remember there's a couple different things. Yes, we want to make money. We're in the speculative business. We're in the high probability business. But guess what? We're in the life business, man. You got to have a life. Okay, we're doing this to have a life, right? You can't stay there for 3 days. We've all done it. I'm not saying I haven't done it, okay? But the bottom line is that it's a lot easier. You can have yourself a nice weekend. You made some bread. Bottom line, the way I always look at that is that you always can get right back in it. I mean, I trade the Qs almost every single day. You know what I mean? I just happen to trade the Qs. And I've explained it before because you can look at the top, 7 or 8. I look at where they're going. And, sometimes, I say, I should stay in overnight, but I don't, because guess what? It is what it is. And I like the idea that, you can get in, you can get out. Sometimes, it's like, oh, why didn't it stay in? But guess what? Plenty of times, like, no, whether I'm short all along. And in this market, we've been both short along on a continual basis. Because the movement, the volatility, folks, is not going to stay forever. Listen, everyone have a great weekend, safe weekend. I'm going to leave you with Louis Armstrong, God Bless America. Have a great one, folks. Have a safe one. Come back and visit Tommy Monday morning, 9 o'clock. Kicks us off. Great show. Wow! Look at him, folks.